We all have different personalities. Some people do best in their jobs. Some people do best in their business. Today we are going to discuss about the possibilities and opportunities for both the job people and the business people. Youth Expedition brings experts from all over the world for you. Today we have Miss Annie Yang, who came from a lower middle class family and created multiple businesses and achieved heights. So stay tuned. This is Akil Sarava from Youth Expedition. Keep watching.
Miss Yang, the author of 5 Day Job Search. Welcome to the Youth Expedition. This is Akil Saharwala.
Akil, thanks for having me here today.
All right. So, actually, it's very tough to write a book. It takes a lot of dedication, persistence, and a lot of clarity in mind and also a lot of patience is required. Because when you are expressing something, you also got to know that what is running in the reader's mind, right? So, I think writing a
Mhm.
book is very inspirational thing, I guess.
Thank you. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, honestly. So what happened was I found this system. I found a system. It was a cheap here in the United States, cheap $97 workshop
Right.
on how to publish a book. So, and they also said, "Oh, if you buy it today, you can invite a friend for free." So I turned to a stranger next to me. I was like, "Are you interested?" She's like, "Yeah." So I actually ended up paying only half the price of 97 because we split the price with her. And then I took this workshop. This guy was explaining how you can write a book in 40 hours. And I was like, wow, that's brilliant. So
Oh,
the way he did it was he just said, okay, pick a topic you know about, right? I was like, okay. And then he
all right.
said, now write down 10 things that you want people to know about this topic. Okay, we can do that. Now organize that. That's going to be your table of contents. And then for each of those 10 things, what are 10 things people need to know about that? And then that just becomes the whole book. You just write it out, and in 40 hours, you get a book. So I mean, people spend maybe years to write a book, but
Yeah,
it's because they're taking their time. Yeah.
correct. Yeah. So I'm curious about your background and this inspiration of for writing this book. So can you please tell your background in brief and what is your inspiration? Why did you write this book? What is your purpose behind writing this book?
I wrote this book because I am a child of Chinese working class immigrants in the United States. And growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. And when it came time to decide on whether to go to college, which college, it actually wasn't even a question of whether I want to go. Teachers, guidance counselors, they were asking me which college you want to go. And I was just like, all of this is so expensive. I don't think we can afford it without taking on any student loan debt, which I don't think is smart. So I decided not to go. And nobody gave me like a plan that would work. Like, how do you have a successful career without going to college, without having any student loan debt? And so what I discovered is I really had to hustle. I ended up working a string of minimum wage jobs. And then I also had to learn how to stand out. And I did a whole bunch of stuff. But one of the things I did is I applied to 50 jobs a day. And then after doing that, I got a job in 7 days. And I thought, wow, I must be so lucky. God has blessed me. But then the second time I did it in 6 days. And then the third time was in 5 days. There must be some key, some process to success. So that's why I wrote the book, The 5 Day Job Search.
Actually, I have a lot of respect for people who came out from scratch, like who started with their own money, who earned and then paid their fees for their education. I have a lot of respect for that people because I have done the same thing in some aspects of my life. So, starting with another question for the students who are just straight out of college or high school, maybe, how they can approach for job? My simple question is that for you.
Okay, I think the first thing anybody, like the baseline advice for anybody is to first think about what you want to do with your life, right? Because people first ask the question, like, how can I get a job? But that's not even the right first question to ask. The right first question to ask is, what job do I want? And let's go beyond that, not just job, like, because you can get any job. You can get a job cleaning toilets.
Yeah.
I think it's more like, what career do you
Mhm.
want? Like an actual, like long-term career plan, right? And so something that someone came to me asking is like, well, I work at a front desk as a, those front desk agents checking people in right now. and I want to be a hotel manager. How do I become that, right? And
Yeah.
I looked it up, and that's something that is like 10 years in the making. You don't just wake up and you say, whoop-de-doo, I'm a hotel manager today, right?
Yeah. Correct.
It's something that takes a lot of planning. You need like maybe 6 to 7 promotions along the way going up the ladder to get there. Some people take longer than 6 to 7 promotions because they take lateral moves in their career. Like instead of going up, they take another job that's
Yeah.
doing the same thing, right? So that's really inefficient. So first you have to focus, what do you want? And this guy says, I want to be a hotel manager. So then the next thing is you have to chart the plan. What are the titles you have to do from here to there to get there? And what we did was we went on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and LinkedIn has a free 30-day trial of the premium version. With that, you can look up anybody on the platform. You can use advanced filters. So you filter for people who have the existing title hotel manager. You open up 20 people who have that title, and then you just look at their profile, right? Write down what titles they had along the way, and from there, you can
Yeah.
work backwards to find out what is the title you should be applying to. So for him, working as the front desk agent, the next title he should apply to is front desk supervisor. So that's going up, right? Instead of
Okay.
getting another front desk agent job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct. Some people I see that on the like someone their HOD or their boss has said that okay, you get this job and then you it is good for you. Actually, it is good for them. They want to use
Yeah.
this people. Yeah. So that is a common tendency among these corporate things, among among these companies. I know. So what should be done? For example, if a person wants to switch their job for their higher salaries or promotion, but their boss wants otherwise. So, if what sometimes what happens that they think the relationship will get degrade. For example, in the same company, there are okay. So what happens that sometimes they will think that my relationship will get degrade if I switch my job, if I get higher promotion. So what should we have to bring a balance between these things, because also in LinkedIn if we see that a person 3 to 4 months he is in one company, then he shifted 4 to 4 months in another company, so that also creates a
Uh,
negative impact.
yeah,
Okay.
that's not good. 3 to 4 months in
Yeah,
in a company, then you hop. That's you hardly even learned how to do the job, and then you've already
correct.
hopped off. Right. So you stay at the job for 1 to 2 years, you learn everything you can, right? Like even after you're able to do the job, you still start like looking for more things to do. You're like, okay, I know how to do it. I can do it faster now, so now I have free time. And you start asking the boss, hey, are there more responsibilities I can take on? I want more responsibility, right? So even if you did not you take on more responsibility, but you didn't get a change in your title or a change in your pay, you take that experience. That experience is actually really valuable. So that way, in your next search, when it is time to get a new job and move up, right? You can actually talk about the things that you did at the job that were beyond what you were hired to do.
Correct. Correct. So we have to make a balance ultimately. Like you should not switch the job as soon, like as early as 3 to 4 months, and you should not get stuck in one job for 4 to 5 years. So that we have
Yeah,
to, yeah,
unless you're like way up in your career already,
yeah,
like by the time you are a director or the hotel manager, people tend to stay at those jobs. They tend to stay that five
yeah,
years, 10 years, because well, the pay is nice first of all, and
yeah,
then it's actually much more difficult as you go up to move even further up, unless you really, really want to move that far
yeah.
up, right? Some people they get to that position and they're just like, you know what, I have a family and I want to spend time with my family, so I'm okay staying at where I am in my career. So it really
Yeah.
depends on the person at that point.
Also, Miss Yang, you talk about LinkedIn profile. So can you please elaborate like how to build a like attractive LinkedIn profile that can attract the employers that okay, this guy is best for our company. How to make that
Yeah,
possible?
yeah, yeah. First of all, people need a really nice LinkedIn profile picture. So I see people on LinkedIn, they have like a selfie that they took with their
Yeah.
phone, or a picture that they cropped from a wedding photo just because they happen to be wearing a tuxedo. And then I'm just like, that's not like professional. I want something like that just says you're so professional because if you give that kind of impression, it makes people think, oh, her work also must be very professional as well, right? That communicates something in and of itself.
Yeah.
So I actually there's a I don't know how much it costs to get the professional headshot in India, but I could recommend an AI solution. So I recommend this AI solution. It's called Dreamwave AI. And you
Okay.
can get a headshot. You just upload pictures of yourself with your phone that you took with your phone, and then it will take those pictures, like maybe 10 pictures of you, and then it will come out with like this AI version of you that looks
Oh,
very professional that you can use for LinkedIn. So people can try out that service. But if not, then you can look for like a local photographer who can take a professional photo for you. Because, if you do this, if people search for other people on LinkedIn, in the search results, right? What shows up? What makes you want to click? One, the picture shows up. Two is your name, which you don't control. And then number three is the headline. So
okay.
those
Yeah.
two things, the headline and then the picture, is really what grabs people in.
Also, I can relate this thing that as you told that some people post their selfies on their profile picture. Actually, it's quite funny because people are making LinkedIn as similar to Instagram, Snapchat. So
Or
that is,
Facebook.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Facebook. So that is very unprofessional. I see people like they have written in subject line, for example, their role is a co-founder, and they are posting like memes and some funny videos. So I think that is not relevant to their profile. They should not post things like that because it creates a very negative impression on them. So
Yeah,
that was
that's
my
right.
point that I wanted to add on. Okay. So I also think that there are also some fake marketing gurus. For example, when you talked about yourself, I remember you told me that you have got some guru or maybe your coach, your business coach that help you achieve your goals. But what happens that there is a this industry is also saturated. There are a lot of business consultants. Everybody is telling you, okay, you come with us and we will provide you this thing. We will get you to the $10 million. You will earn $1 million within 1 month. So how to identify these fake gurus and how to find the best one for you?
Oh yeah, that's actually very hard because sometimes I question, is this person legit? Like I don't
Yeah,
trust them, right? I've had so many people pitch to me, but then I was like, when I go on their social media following, I have more followers than them, so I don't know if they can teach me marketing, right?
yeah, that's why. That's
So
obvious.
yeah, yeah. So really what I recommend is the best way is to just think about what has this person achieved, like actually achieved, that you want to learn from. So it doesn't necessarily have to be marketing, right? Because we're talking about career success, so people are not learning marketing success, it's
Yeah.
career success. So find someone who already has the career that you want to have. Find that person and
Okay.
then model after them. So what you can do is see, it doesn't have to be someone that you talk to. It could be a very famous person that you might not ever have access to. You can read about their story. You can read biographies of other people to see how they did it, and then you apply it what they did, but in your own way to your own life, what you're doing, right? So a lot of the things that I learned along the way were actually from reading other people's stories.
Yeah.
And then the coach was really just for the things that I was struggling with that I couldn't figure out from reading, right? So for that coach specifically, you have to find that person still who has done what you want to do. Like it's almost like, do you ask for marriage advice from a divorced person,
Yeah.
right? Or do you ask for financial advice from broke people? Whatever
Correct.
advice you get from them, you do the opposite. Because if you follow financial advice from someone who's broke, you will be broke.
Correct. Also, I have heard a very famous quote that goes like this, that the best way to earn money is to teach people how to make money.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah, those are the get rich quick
yeah,
schemes because
because,
everybody wants to get rich quick.
yeah, because actually there are people, there are a lot of famous people. I don't want to take any name to hurt somebody's sentiment, but there are people like they have done some small things. Okay, this small three, four business. Then actually, if you see, their earning is from the selling of the books. They sold the books and then they got rich. So there are also people in the market that we need to like figure out and recognize.
Yes.
Yeah.
That stuff though, there's this one person, I don't even remember his name, but I would call him out. Ah, Alex Hormozy or something like that. I think that was
Okay.
his name. And then he's talking about how he was selling gym memberships and how he made millions of dollars selling this gym memberships and stuff like that. But then and he talks about, oh, I got this many visitors to my website, but actually that stuff you can look up online on the website. It's called SEMrush,
Okay. Yeah.
SEM
I know. Yeah.
RUSH, right?
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah. I know.
And
Yeah.
you can just type in the domain name and you can see the monthly traffic. And then when I did that, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is full of lies.
Yeah. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, if we take this thing further about talking about business, now, okay, we have talked about the job people, like how to get a job, how to make a LinkedIn profile. That is for the job people, basically, their basic requirement. If we talk about business, if someone wants to start his own business, like he want to launch his own product and then he want to find his right customers. So what is the right way? If he can he use ChatGPT? Can he use some other tools, some free tools available, some paid tools available? Also, if not talking about the tools, what is the correct approach to this thing?
That's so general and it's such a big topic. I can say like how I started
Yeah.
is I was doing bookkeeping, accounting as my job, and then I came across I will teach you to grow. I will teach you to grow rich.com by Ramit Sethi. And then I took his course, how to make $1,000 on the side every month. I was like, I want to earn 1,000 on the side. That'd be nice, right? So I took his course, and then one of the concepts that he taught that can be applied in any situation is, first of all, can the customer afford to pay?
Yeah.
And then does the customer want to pay? In any business, it has to meet those two criteria. It has to be yes for both questions. Can the customer afford to pay? And do they want to pay? Because what I was doing before that is I wanted to help poor people by giving them financial advice. I wanted to help poor people stop being broke and to stop living paycheck to paycheck. And then I was like, why is it so difficult to turn this into a business? Why is no one able to pay me? And duh, because I'm trying to help people who cannot afford to pay.
Yeah.
And then and then the other side is like we have people who earn a lot of money, but they're so stupid with their money that
Yeah.
they still
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
help. So it's not just poor people. We have a lot of people who earn more money, but they're
Exactly.
stupid with their money too, and they're broke. And that group of people as well. So are they able to pay? The answer is yes. But then do they want to pay? The answer is
Yeah.
no.
The willingness.
And
Yeah.
the willingness is not there because they think, oh, if I'm always earning $100,000 a year, 200,000 a year, I will always earn this much. But they don't even think that
Yeah. The big picture they cannot
if they
think.
lose their job, they can't even think that if they lose their job, they will they have a potential to become homeless basically.
Yeah. Correct.
They don't even think that. So they're not willing to pay. So just that's a very basic piece of advice. You have to meet those two questions with a yes.
Okay. So one last question, Miss Young. As you told about the poor people and the people who are willing to pay or willing not willing to pay, one piece of advice for the people who are just started the job, just earn first piece of money in the first month, or say someone who has just started their business and achieved the break even, what is your advice for the investment or financing in general so they can grow in their business and the job financially? What is your basic piece of advice?
What do you mean? Grow in your business or your
Like
job?
mean
Because
they have achieved their first salary. Okay, now there are many ways of investing, like mutual funds, or maybe stock market, or maybe some bonds. So what is the first piece of advice? For example, someone has achieved some break even in their business. They have just started earning the profits. So where should he invest? How much percent should he invest in business and how much percent in the investment? What is your piece of advice?
it's hard for me to say because right now what I've been doing is I don't take any additional money. I don't finance anything. Everything in my business is just reinvestment of the
Oh,
things that I earned, right? So like every time I did this, like in the first year I made $2,500, right? I took any of those profits that I earned and then I just put it back. I was like, okay, what can I spend this extra money that I had and to use it to grow the business again? And then that turned into 5,000. I was like, and then I asked the question again, how do I take this and then double that again? So then it
Yeah.
became 10,000. Okay. Now how do I double this again? Right? So I actually never cashed out. I still haven't really
Okay.
cashed out. I pay my employee more than I pay myself.
Oh, wow.
I'm still at this point where the employee makes more than me, right? Because I keep everything in there and I just keep putting it back in and in and in and in. So that's really hard for me to answer because like I could live without taking the money out because I still have a job,
Yeah.
and so I just I leave it in there. So
You
that's a bit
reinvest. Yeah. You reinvest in
difficult
your
for me to
business.
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like before, like it is good that you invest in your business rather than you business in someone else's business, unless you trust your business. That is the most important thing, I think.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. So Miss Yang, if someone wants to purchase your book, so where he or she can approach, is there some any website or like a link you can provide? I will provide the
Yeah.
link in the description. So can you please
Yeah,
tell the
actually
people? Yeah.
actually the audiobook is free. So
Oh,
if someone doesn't want to buy it and they want to just listen to it, that it's actually available for free. So on annieyangfinancial.com, if they go to the top, it says audiobook. They just put in their name, their email address, and they can just download it.
all right. All right. All right, then. Thank you so much, Miss Yang. That's all from my side. If you want to add something, you can. Otherwise, we can summarize this podcast.
Akil, thanks for having me on.
All right. So, first of all, we discuss on the people who are in the job, how they can grow in the job. Secondly, we also discuss about the people who are doing business or who want to start the business. And finally, if someone wants some help from you, how can they approach you? We also discussed just now. So that's all. Thank you so much, Miss Yang. I hope we will do much more podcasts in the future on different topics.
Thank you so much for having me on, Akil. I
All
really
right.
appreciate it.
All right. All right. Yeah. Bye bye.